Now the retraction of the gaseous oxygen vent arms and vent hood.
Clear conforming memory. Verify no unexpected errors.
Fuel cells going to internal. Smart plane camera being activated at this time.
OTC, PLC, no unexpected errors. Copy that. Flight crew, OTC, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow.
T-minus 2 minutes.
What's the same for ET, LH2, flight crew station.
Solid rocket booster cameras being activated. T-minus 30 seconds. Sound suppression water system is being armed. T-minus 1 minute. The oxygen and liquid hydrogen filling drain valves are closed. T-minus 40 seconds, handing off to Atlantis' computers at T-minus 31. T-minus 35, 33.
T-minus 31 seconds, due to failure.
And we have had a failure. Rattle off sequencer.
Three times with this. Identity ESP. So that's we need to go through the verification for the OTC, please. Alright, T-minus. Yes, T-minus. The OTC says we need to verify using a camera, and we're positioning camera 62 right now. Okay, let us know as soon as 62 is pulled over. You can verify OTC for GA retract, please. Verification that the GDA has fully retracted. The instructions that were in release mode, right? That's correct. Alright, and FTD concurs. They satisfy the requirement that GA 13 by contingency on go. Okay, I copy that. Launch vector. Yes, sir, I heard all that. Concur. Press on. Alright, very good. FTD. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I need concurrence to VLS the mass to clear the hold, please. Very good. And VLS? Yes, correct. Go. We got it. Thank you. Now that's complete. FTD, we have another one?
All right, guys.
Major lines of folks are once going back full time in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. We're ready to go. All right, very good. And launch director with that cleanup, we're going to go ahead and proceed. Yes, sir, please do. All right, and now personnel, we are going to pick up the clock here momentarily. On your left, you can resume the clock on your mark. Copy that. Countdown clock will resume on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
T-minus.
Very good. Sequence start.
Handoff to Atlantis' computers has occurred. Solid rocket booster nozzle steering check and work.
20.
Firing chain is armed.
15.
Go for main engine start. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and lift off. The final lift
going back to 72% of rated performance in the bucket, reducing stress on the shuttle as it goes transonic for the final time. Engines now revving up, standing by for the throttle up call.
Atlantis, go and throttle up, no action, DPDT. Go with throttle up, no action on DPDT.
That call from Capcom Barry Wilmore, a transducer, instrumentation only, no action required. Atlantis now 15 miles in altitude, already 16 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 1 minute 40 seconds into the flight. Atlantis flexing its muscles one final time. Atlantis traveling almost 2,600 miles an hour, 21 miles in altitude, 24 miles downrange, standing by for solid rocket booster separation. Booster officer confirms staging a good solid rocket booster separation. Guidance now converging. The main engine steering the shuttle on a pinpoint path to its preliminary orbit. 2 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. Atlantis already traveling 3,200 miles an hour, 35 miles in altitude, 50 miles downrange. The propulsion officer reports the orbital maneuvering system engines have ignited. Atlantis kicking on its afterburners for 1 minute, 23 seconds for the final phase of powered flight.
Atlantis, 2-engine towel. Press to ATO, 10.8. Press to MECO, 14.7. That's a good read back, Atlantis.
Because of the slightly late launch time, Capcom Barry Wilmore reading up to pilot Doug Hurley the updated abort boundaries for Atlantis, which is flying on the singular power of its 3 liquid fuel main engines, draining a half a ton of fuel per second from the shuttle's large fuel tank. 3.5 minutes into the flight, Atlantis traveling 4,200 miles an hour, 54 miles in altitude, already 120 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center. 3 good main engines, 3 good auxiliary power units, 3 good fuel cells for Atlantis.
Atlantis, negative return. Negative return.
That call from Capcom Barry Wilmore indicating that we're too high in altitude, too far downrange to return to the launch site in the event of an engine failure. However, Atlantis' 3 engines performing perfectly. 4 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight.
Listening in as well, and astronaut Katie Coleman is with us. Katie, in terms of what's happening now, what's going on?
Well, they've already gotten rid of the solid rocket boosters. They use up all the fuel, toss them off. Looks like they fall down, but they actually go up another 150,000 feet.
Is that right?
Because they're still on their way. Now, those things actually will land in the ocean vertically,
Really?
get picked up, cleaned out. Could be used again, but in this case, not necessary. I'm sure they'll pick them up to clean them out, though. And now we're just waiting for main engine cutoff, which is going to be 8.5 minutes after launch. And that means they've achieved orbit.